good morning. I don't know what time you were watching this. For me, it's morning. It's Christine, and it is day 20 of the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And this one is by Stephanie Olson. And she has basically one photo, and it looks like it's kind of supposed to be like a picture frame, you know, hanging. And then she's got floral embellishments on the sides. And I'm going to call that, you know, 2 pattern papers, I guess. And then, of course, title and journaling. And it's a horizontal photo. So I was going through a box here, and I pulled this box out, and I thought, oh my gosh, I got a ton of good photos I need to scrap. Now, this photo is technically a little blurry, but I don't care. It's my daddy and my bonus mom. This is from 2005, so it's a while back. I don't know if it's actually in the fall, but the colors are kind of fall to me. And so I have pulled out, I have this October 2022 Flavors of the Month kit. I think I broke into one of them, but I've got several in here, and I need to get through them. And I have this Simple Pleasures by Pink Fresh is in here. So I think there's a white cardstock, of course, and then there's several sheets. You know, with the scrap room, you get a couple of options here. And so I'm thinking kind of maybe, I don't know, if I'm going to use the white cardstock or if I'm going to do something like this. But on the other hand, I'm thinking I may end up fussy cutting these flowers because I do have ephemera, but I think there's only like one little floral in here. Not that you have to use florals, but I got to check it. So this is the set I'm going to use. I do like this little set of sunflowers. A pretty little stripe on the back of this plaid, but I'm kind of liking the greens, honestly, together. So we are going to have to play with this just a moment. And because look how pretty that is, y'all. I got to think about it. But this is the collection I'm going to use. And like I said, I got these little ephemeras here. And I have to kind of make my idea. I mean, I could kind of go like this. And then use the green as the photo, the little frame or something like that. So anyways, I got to think through that piece of it. But I just want to show you what I'm starting with. And I may trim just a hair because I don't know if I want the stairs in here. We'll have to see. So let me I'm going to get my plan figured out 100%. And then I'll probably trim and mat this. And I'll come back on. Okay, gang, this video may be just a tad choppy because I do things that seem a little repetitive to me, so I don't usually keep that kind of stuff in there, so I'm going to apologize in advance if it does seem choppy. What I've done is I did decide, I showed you in the intro, I got that green plaid, and I've got the darker green as the background, and I really like that. And I pulled out this piece of like burlap textured print from my stash because I was kind of looking at the sketch and I go, I kind of want something to make it look like a picture frame. And I started off with a wood grain, and then I came across this little burlap in my stash, and I kind of decided I liked it better. I have already cut out some of the sunflower. I guess those are sunflowers. I don't know if those are really sunflowers. They look like sunflowers. I've cut those out of that pattern paper, and I have fussy cut them, and they're off to the side for the moment. I'm going to bring those in when I start putting that around the picture. So I'm going to cut away in just a second because I basically started just photo matting it here. So, and then I decided to go ahead and ink the edges of the papers with Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. So I did do the white with the little green plaid, and I've done the 2 photo mats. And now I'm just going to glue my photo down. And I like how this looks. I think this is, I think the colors go really good. Like I said in the intro, I'm not really certain if this is fall or not, but they do have on fall colors. And so I felt like it went with this collection pretty well. So I'm going to kind of do this. Now, I had the bright idea, you know, the sketch shows it looking like a picture frame kind of hanging, you know, like the old-timey picture frames they used to hang from like, I guess a ribbon or something. And the little set of ephemera had this, or the stuff that Scrap Room sent had that little chipboard circle stuff, and the center of it was almost like a little button. I set it down there originally, and then I ended up pulling it up and putting it on some foam because I'm going to take the string and I'm going to kind of wrap it around the foam underneath it, because when I tried to do it with it straight down on the paper there, it looked a little odd, like it wasn't underneath, and I go, well, I don't really care for that. So I'm going to get my string kind of sized up and the little bows tied. Now, the bows weren't shown in the sketch. I kind of added that little detail. But I'll get this all kind of tied up and cut, and then I'm going to take my little foam piece and stick it up underneath that little circle there. So you can't see it, but it's lifted. That's why the little paper's kind of, the strings rather are up underneath it. And then I just used some glue dots here to kind of attach these little strings. I thought about using a stapler or something, but I thought, no, I'm going to start pulling away from the look and feel, because staplers can be really cute, but they're a little bit industrial. And this felt a little bit homey to me, a little bit like, you know, grandma's wall or something. She might have had a family picture hanging on it. So I decided to keep it the way it was and just use glue dots. And now I'm just going to kind of attach my, oh, and the main reason I hadn't glued that down yet is I almost thought I might have to use a brad for that picture frame looking thing. And so I didn't glue it down in case I had to poke the holes. I did not. I was able to use that. Okay, so here's these little fussy cut flowers. I'm proud that I did that because I thought I almost didn't. I almost forgot to do it. And then I went back and watched my intro to see what I was starting at. And I go, oh, shoot, I was supposed to cut those flowers. So I was glad I did it because I don't know that I would have had enough if I hadn't. There is ephemera, but there's several little word pieces and stuff like that. This is where I had found the word forever to go with that happy, and I couldn't find that word for a minute. I had to move stuff around. I did finally find it, and so now you kind of see it sitting there. I don't know if I've glued it down yet, though, y'all. I'm not really sure. The chipboard pieces, this is actually from 49 and Market, by the way. They are not from this collection. I pulled those out because the colors, there's some purples and stuff in there, but it had like these little peachy colors and some, had some little orange and browns and things, and I thought, well, those look kind of cute. And I like the little title I was able to create, Forever Happy. They're still happiest little clams. They're still sweethearts. If you've watched my channel, my daddy's in the hospital, or technically he's in a rehab facility now, and she still stays with him almost every night, unless she's caught a little sniffle or something. She goes and she basically lives with him at that facility until he can come home. And he just loves to have her come. He's always like, where's she at? Where's she at? So they are still sweethearts, and so that title seems appropriate to me. So here's where I just kind of glued down the flowers, and then I do put a couple of the flowers up on foam. I cut that out because that took a minute. Because the way I had to fussy cut, there's little pieces. It was kind of tiny, and I didn't want to sit there and make y'all watch me put that foam on there. So I've glued those down, and then I come across these other two little leaves and little hearts in the ephemera, and I go, oh, that's kind of cute. I'm going to add that next to the title. I don't really end up with the journaling that she showed in the sketch. I thought about it, but I kind of put the picture, I think my string was a tad too long. So my picture's kind of hanging down a little lower maybe on the sketch than it would have been. So I do not add any additional journaling other than I do add the year in the very bottom right corner. Now these little chipboard hearts also came out of that 49 Market. And so I'm just kind of finding homes for them. And I'm going to end up using my Nuvo glue because, again, they're not self-adhesive. So I'm just finding them homes. I'm going to start gluing it down. After I get these glued down, I actually think I'm done. And I start kind of picking up, and then I look over and I go, no, there's some little enamel dots. In fact, they're right up there in the upper right-hand corner, y'all. They're sitting there. I didn't pick them up at first. I don't know why. I guess because I had put these hearts down, and I thought, well, maybe I don't need them. Well, I'm not sure it was that much of a conscious thought, though, now that I say that. I just didn't pick it up initially. So I'm going to glue all these little hearts down here. And I'm kind of liking how this turns out, though. And sorry, my daughter's texting me over here. I think she sent me a picture of her food. I'm not looking at it, though, until just a minute. So, again, I've kind of glued that stuff down, and I'm going to start picking up in just a second. I don't have as big a mess as normal because there really wasn't that much paper left. I didn't gut that green paper, and so I ended up not having so much left over. I only had like two little, you can kind of see them on the left side. I have a couple of little strips of that green plaid, and then I had a little bit of that flower paper left over. I wrote my year, and then this is where I said, oh, wait, you need to use some of those enamel dots because I started to put it away, and I was like, no, I need that. So I put 3 on the right-hand side, and then I'll put 3 on the left-hand side. This is one of those designs, a little bit symmetrical, a little bit back, a little bit centered, a center design. Even though I don't have exactly the same little clusters on each side, they're very balanced. And that is all I'm going to do the layout, y'all. Then you can see the details up close here. Thanks so much for watching. That's day 20. So there's 11 days left because there is 31 days in this day, 30 days of sketches. So y'all don't miss out on the playlist. I know there's hundreds of videos now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the good stuff. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.